Hey, Will here, and today I'm going to be bringing you the 10 tips for setting up a highly effective blended learning environment. All right, so tip number 1, know your audience. So by that, I mean if you're making a course that's for a specific learning organization or group, feel free to throw things in that are specifically relevant to that group. That could be anywhere from jokes to maybe naming people in there. However, if you're doing something that's more generic, more of like a course that will be used throughout the years, keep it generic. You want to keep it as relevant as possible, and if you make it more general, the more relevant it will seem to those who experience your blended learning course. All right, number 2, let's set those clear goals and expectations. Not only is that helpful for you as an educator or as an instructor, because who would have thought that instructors need to know what their expectations are, but it's going to be helpful for your students as well. It's going to help eliminate any confusion and the always prevalent, I don't know. All right, number 3, let's be okay with those that fall behind, but we don't want to let them fall too far behind where they're doing everything last minute. By being okay with them falling behind, it means you understand that life happens and that things come up, but as long as you encourage them and reach out to them to make sure everything isn't done at the very last minute, that is incredibly important. All right, number 4, let's be able to remotely troubleshoot. As an educator myself and someone who works in the IT field, it really bugs me when I contact people with an issue and they don't know how to troubleshoot. Basic troubleshooting skills are incredibly important, and if you're going to be teaching something that involves any sort of technology, you need to be able to troubleshoot that yourself, or at least provide a base level of troubleshooting. Number 5, create group activities. The worst thing that can happen in a blended learning environment is creating a seclusion environment. By that I mean having a student feel like they're by themselves. So by creating those group activities or group collaborative assignments, that's going to help alleviate some of that stress of it just all being by themselves. All right, number 6, let's create and maintain a list of resources. Creating and maintaining that list of resources is helpful. Another pet peeve of mine when I've been through blended learning courses is when 90% of the links are broken or they lead to something that just doesn't make sense because the link has changed. So maintaining that list of resources is going to help create a structured environment that's going to help set those clear goals and expectations. More importantly, it's going to help your learners ease their frustration while doing an online course. Number 7, choose and maintain a model. It's very important that you stick with the model that you decide to go with. By swapping or switching those models in between, it's going to confuse everyone, and we want to avoid that. Number 8, create a culture. Creating a culture within your blended learning community is important. Creating an open culture specifically where everybody's ideas and values are taken to heart by everyone, and there is just more of an open nature to it that's going to help people explain more or go deeper into it or take the class more seriously. Number 9, provide timely feedback. By providing timely feedback, just in general as an educator, that's so important so your students know what they need to be doing, what they need to be changing, and how they need to be structuring what they do further on within the class. And finally, can't say this enough, be flexible. As mentioned back in number 3, life happens. Being able to be flexible and go with the flow is going to help create the most positive blended learning experience for your students. Anyways, I'm interested to know what you think are some important tips for creating a blended learning environment, or what you found to be most valuable. And as always, thanks for watching.